Anyway, let's start recording now.
Okay, right now? Welcome to Cowboy Boys Podcast, coming live from the A Little Time Studios.
Yeah, the sin bin.
Is that what you call it?
I did just now.
Have you experienced any sinning up here?
No, Mike and Diego are good boys.
Oh, I think Diego does his fair share of sinning up in his bedroom. I've already given too much away on the podcast. This is a studio, not a bedroom.
All right, we're starting it over. Here we go. I won't even talk this time.
No, I'm
go
keeping all
tee it
that.
up. Tee it up.
Joining me now is Kevin Casey White, comedian, podcaster.
Sure.
I don't know what other. It's funny because when I meet people in comedy, I'm like, oh, I don't really know anything else that you've done. I only care about the comedy and stuff aspect of it.
Yeah, and that's fine. Yeah, whatever. I'm a son. I am a brother. I am a boyfriend. I
all these titles.
I have so many hats. I have so many things to so many people. How do you pick one? Let's go with comedian for today.
Co-host.
Yes,
lover.
Fighter? Not a fighter. Arguer. I'll fight verbally. Are you a big fighter? Do you like?
No.
By the way, can you hear these motorcycles outside? Do you want me to shut
the
that
studio,
window?
if you want, it gets hot. I'm a human oven.
All right.
If it's bothering you, it won't pick up.
Hey, as long as it's not picking up on
I edit this and it's insane.
You got AI on your side.
Kind of. I spent like $100 for some program that does everything.
Wait, what's it called? Because somebody... I was talking to somebody.
I don't want to give away the magic sauce, but I will. It's called Alphonic.
That's the one somebody was telling me about. I
think I told you about it. I was texting you about it.
That might have been you then. That might have been you.
That one
somebody
episode
with
that I couldn't fix.
Bleach blonde hair was telling me about. Yes. I also have a podcast about near-death experiences.
Yeah, what's your podcast?
It's called Close Calls.
With
and not
Lizzie.
near. You what?
With Lizzie.
Yeah, with Lizzie Cassidy.
She's very funny.
Yeah, dude, she's great. She just shot a Don't Tell. We're all very happy for her. I just had my album come out. It's a big week for the gang over at Close Calls.
You had an album or a special?
A special. Both? I've been saying album because I find that if you're not a comic, you don't really know the difference. But yeah, so an album would be audio, a special would be video. So a special, technically. Yeah.
I've never even thought about it like that.
It's just because, it's so funny to me that when you tell it, I keep running into what should I call this thing in the most layman of terms, because when you say special, people go, "What's that?" And I'll be like, "Oh, like I filmed stand up." Okay, or if I go, I have an album coming out, they'll be like, "Oh, you're in a band?" And I go, "No, comedians have albums." For some reason, I don't know why this is. So many people don't associate comedians with having albums, but if I grew up listening to albums of like Bill Cosby and Jeff Foxworthy. These are it's like 2 years ago. Like when I was a kid
just
before.
Discovered them.
But I just remember like my parents had like these albums. Robin
vinyl
Williams
or like
well, we had some Jeff Foxworthy CDs.
I
had some Bill Cosby records and
Jeff
tapes.
Foxworthy,
dude. Jeff Foxworthy is honestly a phenomenal. He's one of those guys that's like, his whole thing was like, you might be a redneck.
You
of course,
might be a redneck.
Blue collar.
If you've ever your sister raw and had a baby and your mom passed it off as her.
Could you imagine if he really was that raw? The blue collar comedy, of course, blew him up. But people say the same thing about Larry the Cable Guy of like, but it's like, he's like a funny joke writer though.
No,
like,
it's funny. It's people be like, people like to shit on Dane Cook.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, he was funny when I was 14 and I was 14. And I'm not going to like be like, I'm smarter and more intelligent now.
Yeah.
And I appreciate finer things. I can drink a glass of wine and I can eat macaroni and cheese.
And they're both fine.
It's like things from my childhood that I liked, I still like.
I agree with that, man. I've had
I can put myself in like a dumber state of like enjoyment.
I'm the exact same way. I'm a music nerd, right?
Especially when I'm having sex.
And
that's when I like to like
go on.
Let me dumb myself down.
Oh, I'm so dumb. Oh, my dick feels so good. I'm such a moron.
When it comes to food, sex, that's about it.
But no, dude, I'm with you. Like, I'm a bit. I can be like a bit of a music nerd, sure, or a movie nerd or whatever. And then you meet somebody who's like really about that life, and they want to criticize the things that you like. And it's like, dude, just because I liked Blink-182 when I was in high school doesn't mean I'm not happy to hear it as an adult. Like, it's fun. Let me enjoy it.
The worst are movie nerds like that.
Yeah.
Because I can still like watch old ass like art movies. I can watch something. Let me go off the top of my head. I can appreciate the artistry of The Piano Teacher.
Sure.
But I still love watching Speed Racer, which is just a 2-hour long kids movie.
Yeah, man, but it looks gorgeous.
So when people are like, or like Paddington 2 made me cry on a plane.
I've never seen Paddington 2, but I've heard from so many people it is a phenomenal movie.
But you can always tell.
And it will make you cry.
Yeah, when someone's just like, I have good taste. It's like, shut up, bitch.
Get your posturing.
Yeah, you're obviously dumber than me because I have a wider breath.
Well, there's something yeah, there you go. I have an appreciation for all forms of this art. Okay,
I like cartoons,
not just Kurosawa films. All right, I thought Seven Samurai is a little long. I'll be honest. I know it's considered one of the greatest. Whatever, we could trim a lot of fat off that. I'll say it. My dumb American brain can't handle, especially in black and white. I will fall asleep every time. Have you ever finished Seven Samurai?
A long time ago. I need to again.
It's so long.
You just gave me an idea though.
Okay.
Because have you ever seen people turn their phones in black and white because the colors?
I tried that for a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. I did it for like 10 minutes. I'm like, this sucks.
That's the point.
I'm not getting any of the dopamine, but I'm like, I should only use TikTok in black and white. Therefore, I'm like, I'm appreciating this as an intellectual.
Oh, that's fun.
I am browsing TikTok for the cerebral knowledge of these thoughts twerking their asses.
I like that, man. I like that. And I also I like that. I like that as an idea. I also like thoughts twerking their asses. So I'm buying into everything that you're selling.
You're a well-rounded man.
Yeah, that's right.
You can appreciate the filth and also the art of it. That's what I hate when it's like, especially now that Starship Troopers and like American Psycho.
Yeah,
people are like,
dude.
Actually, Fight Club is about. I'm like, a movie can be appreciated on more than one level.
Yeah,
you could laugh at a bunch of different. So you could think it's funny and think it's bad and be like, okay,
sure.
I'm smarter than you. That's what I'm trying to tell everyone. I'm a genius.
And I'm very curious. Are we wandering into guilty pleasure territory here? Because I'm done with guilty pleasures.
You mean you don't care, or you just don't care what other people think?
I think that enjoying something, even ironically, is enjoyment.
Yeah.
And when people talk about guilty pleasures, I think these people there's a deeper thing at hand of like, you are too worried about your own identity and your own perception. You know what I mean? Like your own concept of, oh, well, I'm like an educated, like we were saying, like film nerd who believes ABC, so I can't allow myself to like Freddy Got Fingered. But between you and me,
that is an art film.
I did. You know what I mean? And I'm like, just say you like it.
That's a genius movie.
Just own that you fucking like it. I love the movie Freddy Got Fingered, and it is considered one of the worst movies ever made. I think it's great. I used to watch it every night before bed. I had a handful of DVDs. I had Freddy Got Fingered, and I had SLC Punk, and I had, what else? There was one other movie I used to, and whatever, and I would just like rotate them in. Oh, Kung Pao, Enter the Fist.
Kung Pao, Enter
These
the
three
Fist.
movies, for some reason in high school, I'd pick one of those three when I would go to bed to put on, and so I can like, I have them like all memorized.
Kung Pao is one of the funniest
It's so
movies.
good. It's so good.
And you show it to people. Yeah.
Dude, it's so good.
Chosen one of change. You show that to people, and people hate you when you show them that movie. They despise that you put them like, all right, the joke's over. Let's do something. And I'm like, no, this is funny. Dude. This is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen.
It's brilliant.
And it's probably is one of the most brilliant and dumb movies all in one. And Steven, what's his name? He did Ace Ventura. It's Steve,
it is.
And he did all the Thumb movies.
Yes, he did.
Thumb Wars and
did you have the Thumb movies?
I watched all the Thumb movies. Thumbtanic. The best one was Thumb Wars.
Yeah.
Then Thumbtanic. Then the Blair Thumb is my favorite one.
There's also Bat Thumb.
Bat Thumb was okay. The God Thumb was okay.
Yeah.
But
it was okay.
I think Thumbtanic and Blair Thumb are just make me laugh.
So good. Yeah, dude. Thumbtanic. She's
Odenkirk?
so big.
The line from Thumbtanic I like is the guy looking out for the iceberg. Because anyone who doesn't know, the entire movie is every actor is just on miniature sets and they're all played by thumbs. And then they put like eyes and faces and they look grotesque. And it's these thumbs, people acting out. They're doing Batman. They're doing Godfather. They're doing Titanic. Mm-hmm. So in Thumbtanic,
it's such a brilliant idea.
It's for kids and it's so funny. One
of my favorite low budget filmmakers, probably, if we're being honest, is this guy. He really figured out how to do a lot with like nothing.
Steve Odenkirk.
That's his name.
Yeah. But it's the joke in Thumbtanic where he goes, the guy looking for icebergs, and he's like, his friend's standing there, and he goes, oh, but the doctor says I'm legally blind in this eye and completely blind in the other.
Yeah, dude.
Goes,
at least he got that one eye though.
Yeah. And then the guy goes, does that look like an iceberg? Hey, kind of does. Oh, shift change. And then they just leave. It's so good.
Yeah, man. I love this part in Bat Thumb. There's like deleted scenes. And for some reason, I've never forgotten. I don't know why. This one like outtake where it's Bruce Wayne and he's just insane. He's just like, yeah, I've been known to pee a little bit. So I just, and I'm realizing as I'm saying this right now, I'm not going to do this justice. And I would really like to get off this topic.
It's like when you put on
I got into a quote and I was like, I don't want to finish this
everyone who's listening
just go watch it.
Hates. I was like, what the fuck?
Everybody hates we're talking about thumbs.
But the two people who've seen the Thumb movies are like, oh my God, I remember those.
Yeah, dude, I love it. Okay, so look, we've already passed this, but you mentioned Dane Cook earlier.
Yeah.
And I have a theory about Dane Cook.
That he has $1 million and is dating a sexy 20-year-old and is not in touch with anything anymore.
None of these are theory, dude. And he looks
he's plastic surgery.
He's got that tight skin.
He's got millions of followers on Twitter, and my stupid little tweets get more like than his.
Here's my Dane Cook theory, and I am with you on that. He got hold on. Let me lay the groundwork.
He was number one for like 5, 6, 7 years.
Dane Cook is to thank for comedy being a household art form right now.
Kind of like he was one of the first big. It was after the 80s. It like re-exploded with him in the 90s and early 2000s.
Exactly. So in the 70s, it was like cool counterculture. In the 80s, it popped off and got commercialized. By the 90s, people were sick of it.
Yeah, everyone was into music in the 90s.
Right? And then Dane Cook, invented a style of comedy that was like
just funny noises, acting goofy.
He's got a little bit of that Chris Rock, the hit you over the head with an idea. You know what I mean? Like how Chris Rock just does. He won't be like, I was at dinner the other day and my steak was bad. He'll be like, I was at dinner and my steak was bad. I got a bad steak.
He's also
the steak was bad. Well, he'll just like reiterate of like, here's what I'm talking about, and then boom, boom, boom. Are we all on board? You know what I mean? And he's also got a bit of that like Robin Williams-y bounce around the room energy. He's he's got all these different things, but he has a style that's all his own, right? So this guy comes along, and he put out the first Comedy Central records. Started because of him. He made Harmful If Swallowed while he was a road comic, and he was just burning these CDs at home and selling them, and he was selling enough that Comedy Central was like, yo, I think we want to put out a record with you. And nobody had put out like a comedy record since like Andrew Dice Clay. Not like people hadn't done it, but it's like nobody was like blowing up. It was like Steve Martin was like a rock star comic, Andrew Dice Clay was like a rock star comic, and then nothing until Dane Cook. All right, so Comedy Central Records happens. I know this because when I was like a senior in high school, I started doing street team work for this promotional company, and they had campaigns for Comedy Central Records. So I would get free copies of those early Comedy Central Records CDs, and all I had to do is stand outside of comedy shows and hand out stickers and stuff. So I had that first Daniel Tosh CD, Dave Attell, Skanks for the Memories,
that's my favorite album.
Greg Giraldo's for what's that for the Midlife Vices, and anyway.
So you've just been in the game.
just like before I was doing comedy, I was just a comedy nerd, you know?
Yeah.
And so anyway, so Dane Cook blows up, right? He gets so big, he becomes a parody of himself, and everybody kind of starts hating him.
He's like
right?
Nickelback.
Yeah. Now, what happens when you have a popular genre? Okay, you have Nickelback. Okay, well, every point needs a counterpoint. So then, if for every Nickelback, there's a Wilco. There's like an indie rock guy.
So all the alt comedy.
Boom. Patton Oswalt starts popping off. Maria Bamford starts popping off. Zach Galifianakis starts popping
Some
off.
of my favorites. Not Patton because he killed his wife.
because he was so big, he allowed them to rebel against him. Then now Patton Oswalt's doing like big theaters and stuff. But for the first time in comedy's like history, people were my whole time I've been doing stand up. People have been saying this is a bubble, it's gonna pop. No, I actually think that now more than ever, it's considered just kind of part of the conversation along with music.
You think it's like a pendulum where it swings from one style to the other?
And I think his meteoric rise with the normalization of selling comedy albums again, coupled with the cool indie scene that kind of leveled it out, I think it made it have staying power in a way that stand-up comedy hasn't had in its lifetime.
So you're saying he deserves his child bride.
He's the Big Bang
and his millions of dollars.
I do. Yeah, I do believe that's. I think, and fact check me on that, but I don't know.
I've never heard that. It makes perfect sense. It does. It was the biggest thing, and then people do push back against whatever is number one.
Yeah,
right now.
And it's not that Patton Oswalt wouldn't have found his fans and success and everything on his own, but I think it really helps for somebody to go, "You like Dane Cook? I'm a Patton Oswalt guy." You know what I mean? You need those people. Yeah. You need the snobs. I'm one of those snobs. Yeah, you know.
Let's see who's the best comic working right now for you to be. Who's my favorite?
Working now or like having a moment?
I'm blanking right now.
Because David Tell's still out there. He's one of my favorites. Rory Scovel just put out a new special.
Rory's was good.
He's one of my favorites.
Tell is out there, but
he's got a new special at the end of the month.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was like just announced. It's going to be on Netflix.
I didn't know this.
Yeah,
your special though.
I have a special.
Your special just came out. I watched it last night.
It was so nice of you. What you said. Like
I only post about specials I like.
Thanks, but I can tell you I actually watched it though. You know, sometimes people
you saw
watch
everyone else being like, "Hey."
Well, I don't know. People watch like share a screenshot from the first 30 seconds. No, you shared a screenshot from like the last minute or two.
I wanted to talk about it because it was very. I'm like, all right, let's see what's going on here. Let's see the special, and you hit the 40-minute mark. A lot of special. A lot of people are because you were talking about like what is a special.
Yeah,
a lot of comics are calling specials like it's 20 minutes. It's my 15-minute special.
Dude, can I tell you something? So I did a weekend at this club, Friday night, and we'll talk. I feel like you have questions about this, so I won't go into detail. But Friday night, I had like what you would consider like a studio audience. I hit all my points. I got the jokes. We're fine. So Saturday night,
did you film Friday night?
Yeah, I filmed both.
Okay, you filmed both. It's a mix up of both?
No.
Oh, okay.
Saturday
night. Right. It didn't feel like one.
So Saturday night, I was like, oh, we got it. So victory lap. I'm just going to have fun tonight. And then we wound up using Saturday because all these spontaneous, crazy moments happened where it allowed me the freedom to go, well, like, all right, like I really can't lose. Like I got it, you know?
Do you have the other special?
I have Friday night, and then by comparison, yeah, it's just me telling jokes.
So this is what I was watching.
It's much more buttoned down.
I was a
little nervous, you know. But if you've ever seen me perform, I'm like the jokes. I wish more people. The jokes aren't going anywhere. If somebody's wearing a stupid hat,
you didn't want
put it on. You know what I mean? Like,
you didn't want to burn your material on your special.
No, but
because that's what everyone says.
But the reason I was bringing this up was because we went with Saturday night because all these really fun, spontaneous moments happened. I did an hour 15. So I trimmed it down to about 40 minutes because I was like, attention spans are short. Trim all the fat. Trim everything you can. So yeah, dude. Like I took a hat. I killed a lot of babies, but it's thank you for saying that because I was like, if it's too short, it's not a special. I agree, and if it's too long, nobody's going to see the ending. So I had to find a sweet spot. So I thought 40 minutes was good. Anyway, that's just a very long. Also, can you tell that on the last podcast they fed me an energy drink?
I can't. I don't know what your baseline is.
It's pretty much this,
but I was watching it. And I'm a big hater, but it was interesting because I'm like, while I'm watching, I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now? It felt like a live comedy show,
dude.
Which
thank
is
you.
so hard to convey, and especially because a lot of times you can be like, this kind of doesn't. It's very like, and I might be too in comedy to like see what's happening. So where other people might like, I was watching. I'm like, he's filming this and putting this out. Like, what the fuck? I'm very curious about it. And so, yeah, I loved it. I was laughing out loud at
Thank
spots.
you, man.
Right? There's a point right in the middle where I'm just like, what is going on?
Which part?
I blank. It's right in the middle. It's like right in the middle. I don't want to spoil any of it either.
Was it the girl that got stood up? Was it the noise upstairs?
No, that was right at the beginning.
Okay.
The noises that left in.
All right.
But it was truly chaos. And
Thank
it was like,
you,
it was very interesting. A special unlike any other.
Hell yeah! Can I get a quote?
You can.
This is great.
Pull whatever you want from this clip.
This is good. Thank you, man.
But I think you should all watch it. I'm gonna have links below.
You put online on Instagram. You were like, Karaoke White Festival was pure chaos, and I was like, that's the most glowing review I could hope for because that's what I wanted. I told the director, shout out Peter Stepnowski.
Yeah, it was filmed really nice too.
He's in town shooting Chris DiStefano's new special for Netflix. I got a pro, man. I was lucky to have a good crew.
Cost? You don't have to say it.
I can't share specifics.
I just want. You're gonna be making money from this?
No.
Fuck.
No, this is the most expensive thing I've ever done. Yeah. I've definitely, this more than any point in my career have I tried to bet on myself with this thing. So I'm really glad it came out the way that I wanted. Right. But I told the director, we were talking about style and stuff. I told him I wanted to feel like a skate video. I wanted to feel like just like gritty and close and tight and intimate. I want it to feel like a real comedy show.
That's what, you nailed that.
Because I hate that like these...
Especially British comedy. It's like a show.
I hate when somebody is like, the camera's far away, and I wanted to feel like you were sitting in the audience. And so Peter, the director, had like it was like little whatever you call it on to move a camera around, or his little rig. Yeah, he was like crouched down underneath, like right up on the stage and stuff. And I told him I wanted it to be loose, like Live at the Purple Onion, Zach Galifianakis.
Oh, again. Yeah.
So those are like my three. I was like, these are your reference points. Watch Live at the Purple Onion. Watch a couple skate videos.
That's one of my favorite specials.
And here's some clips of me. And then when he started showing me footage from it, I was like, I'm so glad I worked like, I don't know. I just think he nailed it as far as look and feel goes. I'm really proud of it.
Do you think you could release the Friday as a B-side? You probably could if you still have it just on your YouTube or something.
So,
or did you sell the rights to all? This is stuff. When it comes to me, I don't have no age. I'm all self.
Yeah,
and so I would never even know what to do if someone's like sign a contract. Here's $1 million. All you got to do is talk.
Yeah,
I'm I don't want to sign a thing. I hate business so much.
So the way that it works. Oh man, I don't know how much of this I can talk about on mic because it's contract stuff.
Then don't. We'll avoid it. I was just curious.
But can we make a just between you and me?
No, tell me later. I don't want to bleep anything out. I'm too lazy.
I have planned. Okay. You're not editing any of this?
I'm not editing it. Don't say anything.
I haven't said anything yet, but it'd be so funny if you had a big jump cut right there.
No, I refuse. I did it once and I was just like, fuck.
It's exhausting. It's time consuming.
But maybe you should go watch the special and see what we're talking about.
I've got some other projects down the road for some of the other stuff that got cut. But what we're focusing on right now is what I consider to be the cream of the crop from the stuff.
Because I think when I first started watching it, I don't want to spoil it, because I'm watching it and it starts off like pretty like, all right, this is normal, and it starts going into a place where I'm literally like, I can't believe he's filming this.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I'm just like, because I thought it was like, at first I thought it was like, why did he leave this in? And then it just keeps, and I'm like, oh, this is like becoming like, this isn't like, that wasn't like this is a choice.
So it's so funny because what the shame of this is, comedy is so disposable right now, where people are watching 10-second clips all the time, that I feel like I've got my work cut out for me trying to convince people to watch this thing in its entirety. But I don't know any other comedy specials that almost follow a 3-act structure. And it's not like an alt comedy thing where it's like sliced and diced. Well, it's not an alt comedy thing. Like, I'm not playing with the form in a way where it's like naturally throughout the course of the show, there's something that's brought up and there's something that is teased and played with in the middle, and then that's both those. All that kind of comes to a nice resolution at the end, organically throughout the course of the show. And it's like, it's honestly, dude, I remember getting off stage and being like, the comedy gods have smiled upon me. It was one of those shows where I was having fun, the audience was having fun, we're in the pocket together, but then there's all these like coincidences and kind of things about the thing that we're dancing around that tie together so nicely.
My conspiracy brain was suspicious. I'm like, this seems like a plant.
Almost. I know, dude. I know. There are no, I promise you all, there are no plants or anything. This was all organic, and we got a really fun, crazy show documented. And I want everybody to watch it dearly.
Pause the podcast and go watch Harang.
Yeah, it's on 800 Pound Gorilla. That's the label, and
I'll link it down below.
Yeah, it's on their YouTube and stuff. And if you want to give me a follow, that would be cool. But if you like it, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, because we need to trick these algorithms into liking.
Tell them Cowboy Boys sent you in the comments.
Yeah.
Why is it called Harang?
Oh, dude.
Can you talk about that? I'm because I'm like, maybe I don't understand.
So do you know that word? It's actually a word that was kind of.
It's like, I thought it meant like you like harangue someone, like hang. Or
no, okay, close. Kind of. You do harangue someone. So
feels like a cowboy term where you like lasso someone and you pull them apart.
Oh, funny. Years ago, I was with some friends on tour, and I was teasing somebody about like not finishing their sandwich or something. I was like, "Well, you can't." I don't know. I was just being like annoying. And my other buddy Zach, shout out Zach Peterson, great comic out of Omaha, Nebraska. He goes, "Stop haranguing him." And I was like, haranguing? And I looked it up. This is the definition. Harangue, a lengthy and aggressive speech, to lecture someone at length in an aggressive and critical manner. And I was like, that's the funniest word ever.
What's the second definition?
To lecture someone at length as a verb.
What's the third one?
Oh, I don't know. I just screenshotted these two. Why?
I feel like I'm right too.
But the reason, so I was like, oh wow, that's like such a funny word. The idea of just like to lecture someone in a critical manner. That's what is comedy if not doing that, right? But then also because of the thing that we're talking about that happens throughout the special, I actually wind up haranguing somebody.
I guess.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, so it all kind of comes full circle. And also, you know, I wanted to call, another idea I had was to call it American Idiot.
That one sucks.
Because that just sounds like a comedy album, but that's terrible SEO. So I had to go with this.
Yeah. Well, Green Day's lost all their fire recently. Sellouts.
They're doing a tour where they're doing all of Dookie front to back.
Ooh, and they're in Fortnite.
Cool. Yeah. And what?
They released their music,
Fortnite?
Their music's in Fortnite. There's like a whole Guitar Hero version of Fortnite now.
There is?
Yeah.
Is that cool or lame?
It's Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
If you like Guitar Hero.
I wish they'd bring back Rock Band. I like playing the drums.
That's in Fortnite.
But you don't have the controller.
Epic bought Harmonix.
Okay.
And is slowly integrating GarageBand Guitar Hero into Fortnite.
That's cool.
And they also bought, they're like...
Are they going to make a controller that's like a drum set, though?
They have two guitar... They're building new guitars. Because the old Guitar Hero 3 and Rock Band stuff, all the old controllers are only going up in price because they don't make them anymore.
Yeah.
So... they're making new controllers. Only the guitars so far. I don't know
if they make a drum set, I will buy that immediately. It's so much fun to play the drums.
You're getting into Fortnite?
I will gladly. So Fortnite is expanding clearly to be more of like a
Ready Player One.
Yeah, sure, a hub where you can play all sorts of different things. I'm not against playing Guitar Hero and Fortnite. I just want to slap those skins, baby.
I used to play Rock band with all my friends in high school.
Yeah.
And we all got like expert level, except singing.
What was your thing?
I was the best at drums and guitar.
Me too. That was my
I was second best at guitar. Shout out Kevin. He was always the best at guitar.
Singing was hard though.
Oh yeah.
You had to be pitch perfect, and I don't really trust what the microphone was giving me.
I had an uncle who was like really like video games are for kids, but just an old rough guy from Idaho, construction worker.
Yeah.
And I showed him Rock Band, and he's like, "What the police is on there?" And so he got the mic and was just doing karaoke.
2 hours later, he's like, "Yeah,
he's like,
he's like all into it.
He loved it, and he's just like, I guess video games are all right. I guess.
Are you a big singer?
No, I would like to sing, but I literally lose my voice 3/4 of the way through like one song. I sang karaoke from my dad at his birthday because my uncle talking about my dad thought it would be funny, and it was. So I sang "Come Sail Away."
That's fun.
And it was funny because it was like a couple beers, and they're like, Matt can't sing, and I can't, but I can hit note if I know the song. I'm sailing.
Oh,
but
nice.
I don't know how to not go 100. I need like a vocal coach or something, because
you gotta wrangle it in.
Literally starts hurting, and I'm like, and I'm like, I ruin it.
Sound like a Waffle House waitress, or
exactly like I'm just.
You could do the Tom Waits thing.
Oh,
Beep, bop, beep, bop,
chains
beep,
out,
bop,
smoking
bop,
chains and
the
cigarettes.
carnival
I think that hurts my voice
and
too.
beep, bop, bop, beep.
Slinging mud on her tits,
That's good.
eating shit. Tom Waits does rule.
Tom Waits fucking rules.
But
Yeah,
no, I
dude.
can't. That hurts my voice too. If I do anything other than my 2 notes of normal talking,
Sure.
So, but my go-to karaoke song is what is it? I can't even remember because it's been so many years. I picture the guy who sings. What's yours? Let me look at mine.
All right. My top 3 in no particular order are.
Do you have top 3? Do you like? Can you sing?
Yeah. I got 3 karaoke songs that are my go-tos. Okay. Power of Love, Huey Lewis and the News.
Okay.
You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, Bachman Turner Overdrive.
Classic.
Or if I want to slow things down a bit, I'll do Believe by Cher.
Do you believe? No, no, that's her. Oh, you can do the accent too.
Yeah, and every now and then I've done a Teenage Dirtbag by Wheatus.
Can you do both voices?
See,
See, I can do that voice easier than the normal.
Yeah. Can you do any impressions?
I can only do Kermit the Frog.
Kermit
and Frog. Ray Romano.
Oh, it's very similar.
And
I never noticed it's the same voice.
Jordan Peterson thinks that.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's all the same voice as that one.
What's his?
You need to wash your foreskin, or the communists will win.
That's good.
That's
yeah. I can't do any.
It ain't easy.
I'm not great,
but ain't easy fucking a pig.
I will.
Oh, my bitch! What? I don't know. I'd never watched Everyone Loves Raymond, but Ray Romano's great. He's funny. His stand-up's hilarious.
I heard he had a phenomenal special out a couple years ago.
He's an amazing special.
I've never seen him do stand-up.
He's good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm gonna watch that tonight. Actually,
no,
I'm gonna make a note of that.
I don't know which one it is.
I think he's only got one.
Yeah, it's really good.
Who do you hate as a comic?
As a comic, I hate a lot of like. As a comic, like, do you want big or I don't want to name like smaller names because I go to a lot of like shows and I hate people.
Oh no, I don't mean people that I'm gonna see this week. I mean like, yeah. Who do you? I'm just curious, like, where your tastes lie.
Let's see, most famous comedians. I don't like Patton Oswalt, like I said earlier.
You don't?
He's like it's too much of the. And I'm doing a nerd reference, and I'm doing the nerd reference, and I'm talking the thing, and I'm talking really fastly, and doing this style of where I don't actually have a punchline. I've just said a memorized monologue soliloquy of it. I'm just like, that's not funny.
Yeah, you don't like that style. I don't mind it because some people do that. and it isn't good. I think if he's the best at that. You know what I mean? Like his bit about the kid stays in the picture, and
I don't know that one.
Oh, dude, yeah,
that's the thing. If someone I don't like, I don't really hate anyone.
Yeah,
because then I'm like, oh, I just won't watch it. Even like Hannah Gadsby, I'm like, I don't hate her. I hate that Netflix is like,
yeah,
she's the greatest comedian ever, and it's like, why are you advertising like that? But it's not
because
like
it got you to watch it.
I got to watch I think I did watch the full special just to be like, all right, whatever.
Have you seen Hannah Gadsby live at the Apollo?
No, is that a like YouTube video?
Yeah, somebody edited her special intercut with like live at the Apollo audience. So she's like, "Oh, blue's a funny word, isn't it?" And then it's like, "Boo!"
Oh yeah. I think I have
great.
seen clips from that. I hate Chappelle now.
Yeah, dude, Chappelle sucks.
Who was I talking about? There's
such a bummer.
He fell off, and people are like, it's the big conversation now is like, well, you just can't handle it. I'm like, no, he's doing the same joke for the last 4 specials.
Bingo. Trust us.
He's better than that.
It's not that.
I don't care.
Yeah, look, I'm a fucking liberal for sure.
Not
okay,
me. I'm right wing.
That I don't care.
He could play to me. I'm just like, it stinks.
Well, I'm saying like I'm not the kind of liberal person who can't take a joke though. Like if it's funny, it's funny. And he's had the laziest joke writing. And yeah, it's like this. It's one note. He keeps talking about this thing he's
talking about trannies.
And it's not. Yeah, but he's not doing it.
It's just like, all right, man.
He's doing it in a way.
You sure spend a lot of time thinking about them.
Well, he's doing it in a very petulant, childish way where it's like, nuh-uh kind of mentality. And it's like, you're a grown ass man. Like, go back to what you were good at. And instead, dude, this last special you put out, I made it 10 minutes, turned it off because he was doing like open micer jokes. Yeah. Like truly the worst joke writing I've heard from somebody at his, like it's shocking how bad he got.
I think he just has millions of dollars and doesn't have anyone being mean to him.
Oh,
He'll never hear me be like,
sure.
Chappelle, you suck now. And then I'm not anywhere near his level, but my opinion doesn't matter. So there's no one at his level who will tell him like, come on, you're better, you're funnier than that. So that's like there's so
many people who's I don't agree with politically that make me laugh so hard because I can still recognize a good joke when I hear one, and I don't need to agree with you to it's not about that at all, but it is so disappointing watching somebody who's such a veteran and who was so groundbreaking and who was so beloved not try anymore. It's like when you see like somebody who's like still trying to box or like, you know, like it's like seeing like a professional athlete who can't put up numbers anymore and they're just still going out there every day getting their shit rocked. And it's just like, I don't know, man. Now it's different because it's not like he had the fall from grace that like, you know, he's not like an old grizzled road dog doing like funny bones all over middle America. And he, you know what I mean? Like he's still making a ton of money,
which good for him.
But I
respect that. Get $40 million from Netflix, doing selling the same special 4 times.
Dude, you know what I thought about?
That rules.
Can I tell you what I thought about actually with this? I'm glad you brought that up. I'm curious to see what his contract looks like because I almost get the feeling of like, remember when like Elvis?
Oh, you think he has a residency?
He was locked into these contracts with these studios. He made
this happens with a lot of bands.
He made like a movie or 2 movies like every year, and he hated making these movies. But Colonel Tom Parker, his manager, was like, "Sign on the dotted line, boy." And now he's this Colonel Tom Parker's raking all this cash, and Elvis hated his career, and it was just like, I got to do 15 movies or whatever with you guys, right? So he was stuck. He was stuck. All right, so Chappelle. I'm not saying Chappelle looks like he's smart enough, especially after what happened with Chappelle's show. I know he's like, he's definitely the kind of person to not let something like that happen. But I do feel like he's just churning them out because he's all right. I got to make like 3 more of these. Let's just get this one out and move on to the next one. That's right.
Well, I like that. I like that theory.
Why else would he be putting out such a subpar product?
Because they're buying it.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like either they agreed to a set number and he's just got to knock them out, or they're saying like if you can get us another one by next year, we'll double. Like there's stuff.
It'd be so funny if after he just released a like him back to where he was when he was younger, and you're just like, oh, what the this is amazing.
He could
if anyone could.
He could if he wanted. It's not like he doesn't know how to write a joke or anything.
No, he's great.
Man.
He's great performer, great everything. But
Great
it's just
performer.
like,
although let's be real, the knee slap thing. He's doing it too much.
I don't care about that. I don't.
He's becoming kind of a parody of himself.
He's phoning it in, getting paid millions. Here's something for now that we're like 35, 40 minutes in. Here's a comic I hate. This will probably come back to bite me.
Okay.
And get me kicked off shows and stuff.
Really?
If it ever got out, if someone ever clipped it and sent it to him.
Putting it online.
Don't do it, asshole. If you've gotten this far, that's why I waited.
This will get you in trouble. Okay,
I don't think it'll get me in trouble.
You got a bad streak about you. You got this thing about you're like, I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to do it anyway.
No,
Stick your finger in a light socket.
I think Jeremiah Watkins sucks.
Oh, okay. I don't know Jeremiah, and I haven't seen his stand up, and I don't know, but do tell.
It's just very like, yes, I'm doing a shitty character,
Silly boy,
silly child comedy. Like if Dane Cook had no substance, no rawness.
Is he a clean comic?
I don't know. I don't think so, but he has clean energy. He's clean.
He's got a very clean cut look to him. Kind of looks like a scarecrow.
And I'm just like, every time I'm watching this, I'm like, this just stinks. This is awful. And he's friends with everyone who I love. And Jeremiah, I know you probably, your wife is beautiful or whatever. He's married his first love, which I think that has a lot to do with it. He hasn't got out. He hasn't gone out there and experienced life. He's too innocent.
So
I don't have anything against you personally. I just when I see you on stage, I spit, and I'm like, what the f is this? Don't clip this and get me in trouble, or do. I don't care. I'll talk to him in person. Probably never. I won't ever do his show.
Well, like I said, I haven't watched his stand up yet, so I truly can't go in on this with you. But
you brought up the question. You're like, who do you hate? And I'm like, I gotta give a real answer.
You won't edit.
I'm not editing it. I think it stinks.
You'll like this.
It's like he's like doing high school. What is that talent show? Talent show comedy.
Okay.
Oh, I'm doing a character. I'm just like, ugh.
Have you seen James Acaster?
I don't like him.
Yeah, I don't either.
But
I tried to watch one of his specials.
He kind of has that same smarminess, but very British.
I think that's his British shit, though. Here's my. I have so many.
Here's the women hate that. Women love James Acaster.
Okay.
I've dated a few women who are like, James Acaster's my favorite. I'm like, oh,
really?
You're gonna hate me.
So
just being a crumb. And I don't hate him as a person. I hate him on stage. It's too it's too much of a performance, and it's too performative. He's saying the correct, safe thing.
Be present.
I refuse to.
No, that's like my thing. I like comics that are in the moment. And when I watch a comedy special or whatever, I really hate it that they're just reading a book report at you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I also hate
if you're at a live show, give them a live show experience. And so, yeah, when you say like they're just saying these things that are so perfect, it just feels fraudulent, right?
Or like the king of doing it is Bill Burr saying the wrong thing and digging himself out of it. That's so much more exciting.
You mean as a tactic? Sure, yeah, devil's advocate. Sure.
James Acaster is always just like, I think actually I'm actually the good politics are the right ones, and I have all the correct opinions. And old people, I need to get with the times. And I'm just like, okay. Put a joke on that. Put a little stank on it. Make it dangerous.
Speak whatever.
Flipping off old people is not.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
Speak whatever your truth is, as long as it's funny, right?
As long as it's risky and funny is what I say.
That doesn't need to be.
Take the condom off. Have a little raw sex every now and then.
I don't know. It doesn't need to be risky. There's plenty of jokes I love that are about nothing. That are just
like
about
Dane Cook.
Well, do you know Dave Ross? This is the first one that pops into mind, and he's got this new bit he's been doing like the last year or so, where he talks about how there's Nokia made that it's a flip phone, but it's got a glass screen.
Okay,
and so now I don't understand what glass is, and the whole thing is just
does
about
it fold?
it's just and the whole thing is he's like, and I'm not gonna do his joke because he does it, it's his joke and he does it much better. But he's like, I don't know what glass is. If you ask me what glass is, number one thing would be doesn't fold. You know what I mean? And the whole thing is just about glass.
Yeah, but it's
like so funny. That's not like a political joke.
No, I'm saying, but that's like an interesting new take.
Yeah.
It's not a corrector. It is like okay, huh?
Yeah.
I've never thought about it like that.
Yeah.
When it comes to politics, it's
so it doesn't need to be about anything, but it needs to be like
But when you do
saying out loud,
when you do political humor, you either fall into the right wing, like I'm saying it, I don't give a shit, which is what Chappelle is doing, or Acaster being like, I'm left wing and I'm saying the correct thing and I don't care. It's like make it something more palatable than playing to the far extremes.
Sure.
Draw a picture of Muhammad. That's what I want to see. Do something risky on stage. I'd like to see Dimitri Martin draw a picture of Muhammad. And I'd be like, holy shit. Dimitri Martin's new 30-second special. I'm doing it.
Dude, I wanted to. We went off on this tirade. What were we talking about a second?
You wanted to talk. You were going to ask me about my karaoke song, which I still can't remember.
No, wasn't
Who's the guy with the dreadlocks who plays the bass?
What? Corn?
No, black guy back in the 70s, 80s. I can only do the bass line in my head. Do 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 do. Well, when you want to follow at night, you couldn't talk down to me. That's the song. That's my karaoke song.
Rick James,
give it to me, baby.
Hey,
that's the song.
That's a hot one.
That's the one I like to do, and it's the only one that doesn't ruin my voice. But what is it after that? After karaoke?
Doesn't matter. They were talking about comedy stuff and had another comedy theory. Oh, I know. I was going to complain about British comedy. Here's what I don't like about it. Okay?
Yeah.
It's not. And somebody's going to be like, I like this British comedian. Okay, I'm painting with a wide brush here. Yeah, there's going to be exceptions. Whoever you like
I say Jeremiah
is not
Watkins,
who I'm talking about, all right?
I'm talking about a bunch of Jeremiah Watkins. I'm not talking about the one you're thinking about. You don't know which one I'm talking about.
Jeremiah's not British, but yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah. All right, so look. Their comedy isn't funny, it's clever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You laugh at British comedy the way that you laugh at a book that's like funny. Whenever somebody's like, oh, Confederacy of Dunces is such a funny book. I've read it. You don't laugh out loud. You just go, huh, yeah. Oh, isn't that quaint? Isn't that whimsical, the wordplay? As opposed to American comedies like Left Turn, hit you over the head. British comedies very like soft.
Shop.
They got a gloved hand. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it drives me nuts. I think there are some comedians from the UK that I think are hilarious, but for the most part, they're more interested in sounding like smart and cute and clever than they are just being like undeniably oh shit, I can't believe I laughed at that.
I think it is.
Would you agree?
Yeah, but it's also like because it is like a performance.
It's a monologue.
Yeah, it's a.
They do approach it like theater.
It's a show.
Yeah, dude, totally. And it's less of like the club with like the glasses clanking and the smell of like beer on the carpet and the wood and stuff. It's more like, here's my presentation of what a comedian is.
Back to glazing you, dick riding you is like your special is not like that couldn't be rehearsed.
Yeah,
ever.
Right.
It's just kind of like I built this skill set and now I can do it in this moment that was only that moment ever.
Yeah.
So British comedy, and that's just kind of like the style.
A big turning point for me as a comedian was when I learned that I wanted to be the kind of comic that talks to the audience, not at the audience.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What's going on?
Someone's doing
just like your special where they're moving chairs around.
Someone's doing construction or wants us to stop podcasting.
I hope it's not Mike banging down. No, he knows I'm recording right now. No,
you got to edit that, right?
No,
they can't hear the bumps and the. You said they. No, you're just gonna leave it.
No, they might hear it.
Okay.
I don't think they will. I don't think it picks up with my.
So my podcast, we do edit. Because because I want.
I guess you talking to riskier subjects, like more.
We're talking about people dying and stuff, and we need to be. So the podcast, like I said, it's near death experiences, but it's not like people. I'm just giving them.
Yeah, with Lizzie
Cassidy, and it's not like. it's like how do I explain it? It's not like a lot of stories about seeing a white light and whatever. It's more about, hey, this fucking guy got lost in the Sahara Desert for 2 weeks, or got marooned at sea for a month.
I could have died.
Near-death stories, right? So it's like true crime adjacent. If you like true crime stuff, you'll probably like this, except you know that at least one person's going to make it out alive. So a lot of it's kind of making fun of these people, like, why'd this idiot go hiking in the Alps in the first place? Haha. But also it's like, well, they are still living, and so we need to give a certain level of like respect for the ordeal that they went through, because
do you have these people
we
on?
don't need no.
You just researching
and
if they're not there, I'm making fun of them.
No, yeah, we 9 times out of 10 we do make fun of them, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's like we edit it because we don't typically edit jokes. What we're editing is a lot of the spaces in between. So that thing where you're like, oh, what's that noise? I want the person, I'm like, they're listening to this at work or something, if we can whittle off a couple minutes to make it tight, like, that's just important to me. But very few times have we edited out jokes that are too tasteless.
Why do you think? I think because a lot of people do. I used to listen to podcasts at work. I used to work for like 8 to 10 hours a day, and just listen to 8 to 10 hours. So when you're robbing me of that 10 seconds of knocking,
maybe,
but I think even more so now that like everything is becoming more like Disneyified and polished and like beige, and with AI and just like stuff getting churned out just by computers, and it's all bullshit. I think there's nothing more refreshing than hearing a conversation between a couple of bozos that is unedited. It's more risky. You might hear something. You get all the subtleties. Because when you edit stuff, it kind of, you're like, huh. Yeah, that was my least favorite thing, when someone's like, oh, I know something about a comic. Oh, tell me. And they like the comics whisper. I'm like, you have micro, just say it. Have the balls to say the name or not bring it up.
It's less that. It's more quality control. It's more like, you don't need to listen to dead air while I Google something.
Well, there's been no dead
You know
air.
what I mean?
If you're good at podcasting.
Right. We, so, like I said, we have a research-based thing. So we're telling a story, and you're like, yeah, hold on a second. Let me look up what was the name of the ship that sunk.
I'm saying,
you know what I mean?
It is. I'm not saying what you're.
That's what I mean. That's why I'm like, you're like, oh, is there a knocking? I'm like, you'll edit that out, right? And you're like, no. They have to watch me be confused for 30 seconds for no reason.
Yeah. So I think there is like it helps you stand out more now to be like, oh, this is actually made by
a time saver, dude.
This is made by a human. And yeah, I'm a one guy production.
Yeah.
I'm not editing. I'm not going through. I already have to bleep out the swear words for YouTube to give me my $2 an episode for ad revenue.
That's crazy. You monetize the YouTube clips.
Dude,
and everything.
You bet your shit I do.
Yeah.
This is my only job.
Don't you need a certain number of like, or subs? Can anybody do that?
No, you need like 1,000 subs. We hit that number. We're slowly dropping, but
how's your Patreon?
Doing pretty good. It's plateaued forever.
Yeah.
But salute to everyone who's still listening. Like I couldn't keep doing this. I
appreciate how transparent you are. It's dropping.
Dude, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, everything's plateaued, but I'm happy with plateauing.
Yeah.
I thought I would drop off after season 1, but now that season 2 is going strong. Seriously, everyone who's like still supporting and staying in, a lot of them have messaged me and be like, I love it. I love where you're going with it.
Great.
And I'm like, salute to you.
So you've kind of reset the episode numbers and everything. I noticed, and you what kind of, you said where you're going with it. Do you have any plans about where to take this now in its new iteration, or what kind of changes have you made?
The biggest change since Shane left, before it was just two friends hanging out, podcasting every single week. Now I made the promise I'm gonna have 52 new guests every single episode, like for comics or funny people or like anyone interesting or adjacent. So the timing of this was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's now become me shooting the shit and being funny with someone else.
What kind of stuff do you do on the Patreon? So we've started up our Patreon, and we're doing well.
Ooh.
I'm happy to say that we've only been around for about a year, and we've got a good following and a good base, and our fans really love us. They're very vocal, and we're really lucky for that. So like I know we have like a good thing here, but I don't know like how to best utilize what the extra content. It's so funny because like you put out this thing for free and then you have to make a whole secondary show that you charge for, but the one that you're putting out for free is the one that you got you started. So it's like, why would I give a Patreon episode of something that I put less thought? You know what I mean? Like, so I'm trying to figure out fun things to do, and I'm curious. Like, what do you do? Do you do any?
I just do another episode.
You just do. You just do you do, and it's just you, or?
Usually, if you wanted to do the Patreon.
Oh yeah, I'll sit on a Patreon. Yeah,
I don't know what your timetable is like.
I mean, let me see. But,
but no, it'll be whatever. Sometimes the guest hasn't been able to do the Patreon.
So am I overthinking it? Should I just do more episodes?
Yeah, you're overthinking everything.
That is 100% true. That is a very real thing because I feel like I need to come up with a whole new concept.
I've done like a little cooking burrito video.
Yeah, but you have to do that every week, and that's hard to keep up. And
right? No, not every week. I just did it when I felt
sporadically.
Just like, oh, I made this video because everyone was asking questions about this certain burrito. And so I was like, I made a little video about it that had to do, it's like, I don't know, upload photos, post a picture of your ball sack. Just show
Lizzie,
some skin.
We were around the studio one time and she tried to take a hit of her vape using her foot.
Yeah.
And I think foot content could be really big on our Patreon.
It could. Like just the Friday foot pick.
Friday foot pick.
Give them one extra thing.
You know,
that's the thing about Patreon is it's like, it's there for people who want to keep, because I've told them, I've been blatant. If it dips below 1,500, I'm done. I'm ending the show. I'm deleting every episode.
Wow.
It's gone forever.
Wow.
But so I think people want to like support the good stuff.
That's the thing that's so hard to accept as somebody who works in any sort of entertainment or arts field is you slug it out so long hoping somebody will pay you to headline their club or whatever, that when you try to sell t-shirts afterwards, you almost feel like it's frivolous. And Patreon is like that. It's hard to accept that people like what you do and want you to keep doing it and want to allow you the ability to support yourself. Like I got to get over that. It's hard. Like my special's free. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe I'll charge for the next one, I guess, if that's like what I should do. But it's hard to kind of get over yourself and see yourself as somebody who's like worth somebody's a chunk of their paycheck. Like it's hard.
Well, it's $5.
I know. It's only $5.
$5 a month.
But that tells you. See, but there's also different types of comics and shit though. Some comics start out in clubs. I started out, I got banned from my local Funny Bone when I started doing stand up and I started doing my own DIY shows, $5 a pop.
Oh,
pay the comics,
politics.
Boom, boom, boom. And so I've had to kind of relearn that there is like a business side to this, and like how to like.
That's where I'm at, and I'm
how
like,
to sustain.
I hate it. No, but I'm saying just for you as an individual, did you subscribe to any Patreons?
No.
That's your problem. You need to subscribe. I subscribe to a guy who just lives in a van. His name's Foresty Forest.
Sweet.
I watch his YouTubes. And he's like, yeah, today I'm hiking this mountain. Here's a little stew I made. I'm subscribed to his Patreon. I forget to check the Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just subscribed to him. I'm subscribed to this woman called A Little Bit of Toddy. She makes, she uploads. I don't even want to say lewd, but they're like, it's like pinup art that is like old
drawings,
drawn like newspaper comic style.
Okay.
But pinup, and like the jokes are cheesy. She's a fat ass. And I'm like, yeah, I'll give her $5 a month. I think with the Patreon once, there's like a setting where it's like, do you want to alert everyone of what you're subscribed to? And I subscribed to someone and I'm like, oh my God, that could have been so, it like sent out a mass email and I had to immediately turn that off because I think I subscribed to just like a Foresty Forest or something. I'm like, I could have done a crazy thing and subscribed to someone.
Yeah.
Not like a Belle Delphine. I don't know if she is a Patreon or do I?
You buying that bathwater?
No.
But I think you're right. I think if I'm going to be a part of a Patreon as a service, and I need to be part of Patreon as a community.
No, maybe.
So I should have a look around and
you could start a Gumroad. You could just
what's Gumroad?
That's a different. It's Patreon, but a different version of it.
Oh, okay. No, what I mean is I should subscribe to some people and spread the wealth around too, so I understand kind of what it's about to be a part of it. But also, if I need some brainstorming, like see what people are doing.
Yeah,
you know.
I think I'm the other ones. I'm subscribed to Nate Garcia. He was on episode 1. He just makes comics.
Yeah,
I get comics sent to me.
Okay.
Because of him, he subscribed to our Patreon first, and so then I subscribed to his.
There is a Patreon
incestuous.
There is a Patreon I did see recently, and I was like, I think I am going to sign up for that. Do you know the band Screaming Females?
I've heard of them.
They're great. They just broke up actually.
Oh,
but the lead singer, the lead singer, she does a Bart of the Month club, and she hand draws a Bart Simpson in a different way, and she mails it to you.
Oh,
and I'm like,
that's pretty cool.
That's great. I would love if at the end of the year I had 12 Bart drawings just from one of my favorite, frontmen of a band.
No, I see it as like I have a little bit of extra money and I like what these people do and I want to keep it all going.
Yeah, that's good.
So I hope that's what everyone else does. I hope that when they're listening, they do the same. And I hope I have a list of everyone who's canceled, and I will be coming for you.
It's funny you mentioned a little bit extra money too. That's also a thing where for the first time in my life, I can comfortably do something like
not
that.
Anymore if you're special.
What I mean? My stock has plummeted.
You bankrolled that special.
Yeah,
come back and ticket sales.
We're busy, and it's
spend
nice.
money to make money.
It's nice.
So yeah, that's how I look at it. It's just no,
it's good.
If you want to pay for it, you don't have to. Patreon.com/cowboyboys. There's more episodes. It's exactly the same and sometimes an extra thing. I also do Ask Me Anythings. That's another thing I do.
Totally.
Which I
That's
should
good.
do.
Have you done one of those in a while?
No, I'm about to do one soon.
Do you have some questions?
No, I don't have any.
You haven't gotten any, or you just don't have them? I was going to say,
I don't have them. I would invite you. I haven't posted the, hey, I haven't.
Okay, I got you.
You got to get the questions first.
Okay.
But.
You know what we could do?
What?
I got to ask you, I'll wait for you to wrap this up. You have to see on the Patreon what we do.
This is about it.
You're not going to stop and start and see?
No, we can stop it, but I'm like, this. Do you want me to wrap it up officially?
Oh, I don't know. It's your pod.
This is the end of the podcast.
It feels like we're landing the plane.
Do you think you could land a plane?
Why is this actually? I feel okay. So I was like, oh, I got an hour. I know. I've done enough podcasts. I'm like around an hour. It's gonna be.
Have you ever heard that thing with like women like to ask guys, do you think you could land a plane if the pilots were incapacitated?
Oh, funny.
Just you personally. It's a simple question.
Let me think. Am I allowed to talk to the tower?
Probably. It's just the pilots have done a murder-suicide, and you're the only male on a plane full of women who, because they're also like, I think British guys are like also like, I need the authority. You're an American man,
yeah,
and you need to land this plane. Your girlfriend's back there. Your wife and girlfriend are on the plane.
Okay.
Do you think you could land a plane if you call the tower?
Hold on. I think I could have a fighting chance of not killing everybody.
There you go.
Because of video games.
Yeah, that's confidence. That's
and
all
I don't mean when a guy's like, I play a lot of Call of Duty, so therefore I would be a great good guy with a gun. I mean, they have done tests that prove that playing video games has made better fighter pilots. Like they've done, like they put them in, you know what I mean? So if everybody else in the plane is like, I stopped playing at Atari, I'm like, well, then I'm gonna be the one who tries.
Hell yeah. That's
right? I can confidently say that. I understand the concepts of lift and drag. I understand from playing. Do you remember the fucking old NES Top Gun game? It was like the impossible to land. You don't want to go. You got to have your nose up when you come in. Mm-hmm. At just a bit of an angle, and then when that hits, you don't just slay. You need enough. You gotta stick, because what happens is sometimes they'll come down with the nose up, right, and then they'll take off again. You gotta get that nose down. You gotta get that nose all the way down. I think I could do okay.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've landed the plane. Where can they find you?
That's what you ended it on? I thought you were going to share your answer.
No, I don't give a shit.
Can you land a plane?
Oh, I don't even have to think about it. I have 100% I can land a plane.
What the
First try.
That no qualify. The special is called Harang. You can find it on YouTube. My name is Kevin Casey White. It's at Kevin Casey White on all socials.
You got a website?
And Venmo. What?
Ooh, and Venmo. If you like the special, send them a couple bucks.
Yeah, KevinCaseyWhite.com. It just links to a link tree right now, which links to the special and the podcast, so and my socials. So you can just go
Last
there
call.
For everything.
It's a podcast.
Close calls.
Close calls.
Yeah.
It says, oh, I'll edit that out. my mistake
The
right
one
there.
edit.
Thank you, Kevin. Very fun talking to you about comedy and everything else. Go watch a special. That's the episode.
Hell yeah, dog.
Yeehaw.